What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Richibon. I'm the coach of the Colorado Cramorant in the CGC Draft League, and today I'm bringing you my Week 6 Team Builder video versus GoldenCosmos and the Wyndon Dragapults. Before we get started, this is the first time I'm recording in my new apartment, so the lighting's going to be a little bright through the window and stuff. I'm still working that stuff out, so please bear with me while we get that all figured out. So let's just get started. Cosmos has more or less been a rival of mine when it comes to these kinds of events. We have team built together a lot. We've given each other a lot of feedback, and to be quite honest, it's been really difficult not helping one another, at least from my perspective, during this draft league with cool ideas for the teams that we've drafted. Further establishing that rivalry is the fact that I have Latios and he has Latias. They're just really similar, and I just think it's cool that we have that in common. He's a very tough opponent. As of the time of recording this, him and Crystal and I are the only undefeated teams so far, and so I'm really looking forward to our matchup. Let's just jump into it. His first pick was Raikou. Raikou is, like, without a doubt the best electric type in this format, just without question. It's incredibly fast, it's really nicely bulky, it's really strong. It's just good. It's just so good. And I'm not sure if it gets Aura Sphere in this game. It does. That's crazy. So that used to be locked to an event, but now all of them just get it, which is really, really cool. This mod's crazy. It's really good. You can do something as basic as just like Thunderbolt and just like Volt Switch and Aura Sphere and Scald or something for your attacking moves. It gets support like Reflect and Light Screen. It's just really good. Does it get Electro Web? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. It's just a great mon, and furthermore, it is locked into its inner focus ability in this game, which is just better than pressure. So it can't be flinched, and it's immune to intimidate. I don't have intimidate, so it's not a big deal, but immune to flinching is crazy. It's really fast. The only thing on my team that's faster is Swellow, which is crazy that Swellow is faster, but it's wild. This thing's going to be a lot to deal with. Latios is great. As a Latios lover and user, Latios is very similar. It just has swapped its special attack with its special defense stat. So it's just a little bit bulkier, does a little bit less damage. It's still great. It's still an amazing mon. Does this get fire coverage? It does. So this is an upper hand that it has against, or wait, hold on. Am I looking at, I'm not in a format. That would explain it. Let's go to, Battle Festival doubles. This might change their movesets. Yeah, no Aura Sphere there. Okay, so I lied. I lied to the people. I'm so sorry. It does not get Mystical Fire. I don't think it gets any fire type coverage. So I'm pretty sure its move pool is like almost identical to Latios's. Just swap Luster Purge with Mist Ball, and they're basically the same mon. It might get some more supportive options that Latios doesn't, but they probably don't matter that much. It's a great mon. It's just really good. It's like Latios, but more bulky and less offensive. Regigigas Wheezing, man, when Cosmos picked up Wheezing, it was just like game over for the rest of the draft. We were all like, okay, he's gonna get either Gigas or Slacking, and it's like it would make no sense for any of us to pick those up. We just have to let him have it, and as a result, he picked Regigigas in round 10. Regigigas, like, I don't need to explain Regigigas, do I? It is insane. Its base stats are absolutely outrageous. The only thing that balances it is its bad ability, Slow Start, which is negated by Wheezing. I think Cosmos has other tricks to negate this, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I have to prepare for this. None of my mons, I have 2 fighting types, which helps me, but like none of them one-shot it. I have no ghost types, so that kind of hurts. I have a steel type, which kind of helps, but like this thing is crazy. And they gave it protect. That was one of the things I was holding it back in previous gens, was that it didn't have protect, but so you couldn't stall slow start turns. But now it's protect. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Wheezing's a great support piece. Even without neutralizing gas, I know Cosmos has brought Levitate one week and also had Regigigas on the team and just brought Levitate. These are both excellent abilities. Levitate just removes one of its weaknesses, which is amazing. You could bring Stench. I don't really foresee it, but really common sets involve Will-O-Wisp. I don't know if he'll bring Will-O-Wisp into me or not, but that's something that can happen. It's generally just like bulky, supportive, has some like annoying status moves they have to deal with. It'll be threatening. I have 2 psychic types, so I'm not super worried about it, but it could be a problem. Heracross is awesome. Heracross was a mon I was considering if I wasn't going to get Swellow, but Heracross ended up getting picked before Swellow. When we were in the turn for picking Swellow, I was like, if anyone's picking Swellow here, it's Cosmos. And I decided that Cosmos wouldn't because he had already picked Wheezing. I was just like, Swellow's not really that easily usable without the Flame Warp stuff, where Heracross gets Moxie. And it just doesn't need it as much. You can either plan to have a Flame Warp set or not, where with Swellow, it's like a lot more important. So Heracross is really cool. It's got a bonkers attack stat, pretty reasonable speed. All of its abilities are good. Even Swarm's all right, but I don't see why you would not run one of these two. It's just really good. Again, I have 2 psychic types that are faster than it. I have Swellow, which threatens it a lot. I don't think this will be coming into me, but I have to be prepared for it regardless. Magmortar's here. Cosmos will actually be trading Magmortar after our battle. This is his last week of having Magmortar. He'll be trading it for Mantine, I believe. So well, this is the last time we might see Magmortar. It's a good mon for sure. I was debating it between like Houndoom, but Houndoom was a lower tier and I thought I got more value out of it, but this thing's really good. It has a lot of special coverage and physical coverage for that matter. It gets like Mach Punch and stuff, but it learns a whole variety of typed moves here, as you can see. So it's something to worry about. I'm actually scared of Thunderbolt coming off of this thing personally, and it's just a good mon. Flame Body and Vital Spirit are both good. I probably wouldn't bring Vital Spirit into me. I'd probably bring Flame Body into me. I love Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is the favorite mon of mine on Cosmos' team. I was so elated when he picked it. Cosmos told me that he wanted Gallade and I ended up getting it first, and Mr. Mime was his backup, but I think Mr. Mime is better for his team than Gallade is. This thing is so cool. It's a great typing. Psychic Fairy is amazing. It gets all sorts of support stuff. This is his lone Trick Room user, but it's so good at it. Soundproof means it can't be phased by Roar, which is really, really cool. Filter's a great ability. Technician's a great ability. This thing's on little kill leaderboard right now. It's in like 5th place because of Technician Icy Wind or something crazy. This thing's really cool. I'm excited to battle it, even though it's probably going to mess up my day. It just gets so much cool tech. I'm really excited to face it. Umbreon's amazing. Umbreon's one of the best tanks in the format, without a doubt. Inner Focus and Synchronize are both good abilities, so we'll just have to see which one he decides to bring. I expect this to come. I have 2 Psychic types, and it's a great foil for Weezing. It's just really good. Foul Play, like Snarl, gets Yawn, Protect, Moonlight. It gets all sorts of stuff. Taunt could be useful for it. Baby Doll Eyes, even Heck Charm. Just a very useful Pokemon. One of the best evolutions, one of my favorites personally, and yeah, I expect to see it for sure. Steelix is cool. So Steelix was more picked up, I feel like, from Cosmos End as like a physical wall, as you can tell, with that 200 base defense. It also enables the Trick Room mode further that Mr. Mime can allow. I'm not sure if this is going to show up. Honestly, it might. It's one of his best and only answers into Togekiss, but I don't know if he wants to commit into a Trick Room mode against me personally, because I think his team overall is a little faster than mine in general. Our teams are pretty similar as far as speed tiers, but I think he'd prefer to have a fast mode, but it might show up. I don't know. Rockhead is usable, Sturdy is usable, Sheer Force is usable. I think I've mostly seen Sheer Force from him with Life Orb. It's a good set. It's a good mon. It's just really bulky. It's actually deceptively not that strong, but if you stack Life Orb with Sheer Force, it ends up doing damage. And then you just run a physical set. You know, you'd have like a steel move, just to get a steel move that isn't Iron Tail. I don't know. Heavy Slam. Right, that's not boosted by Sheer Force. I guess Iron Tail is. If you want to go crazy, you could run Iron Tail, but oh, Gyro Ball, obviously. You'd run like Gyro Ball, you'd run Earthquake. I guess this isn't getting boosted by Sheer Force, is it? Like Rock Slide. It gets all the Feign moves, I think. You could run like Ice Feign. It's a cool mon. I don't expect to see it, but it's neat. Last but not least is Sceptile, also a very cool mon. Unburden is just a crazy thing to have to deal with. Also, Overgrow plus Focus Sash isn't bad either, because it's probably likely to be running Focus Sash a lot of weeks. I'm about to reveal a tech, and I don't know if Cosmos wants me to, but I'm prepping for it. I need to make sure that I take care of it. And that prep is Worry Seed. Sceptile gets Worry Seed as an egg move in this game, and I believe it's the fastest user of it. It's at 120 speed, so it outspeeds everything except for my Swellow. And it can use Worry Seed on its partner Regigigas and erase Slow Start and replace it with Insomnia. So I kind of think this strat might be showing up. I'm prepared for it. I think this is a really good option for Cosmos, because Weezing isn't quite as good for the reasons I was saying with having 2 Psychic types, you know? So it gets an insane physical move pool, but it doesn't really have the attack to back it up. It has a pretty bad special move pool, but it has decent special attack, so we'll have to see which he decides to go for. I don't have Intimidate on my team, so if he wanted to do a physical moveset, he totally could, but I think if this came this week, it would be a support. That's Cosmos's 10 mons. Let's look at what I'm gonna bring in hopes to deal with it. Here it is. I believe in Toxicroak. So there was a minute where I had both Houndoom and Gallade on this team, and in my mind, Toxicroak just kind of put them together. I was running Feint on Houndoom as a means to break through protects, so I can break Weezing if it shows up, and just as a priority move, just to deal a little bit of chip damage when I need it to break Focus Ashes and stuff. And I was bringing Gallade for like physical fighting type damage. And I was thinking about it, and I decided that Toxicroak can kind of just do both of their jobs. So, and that would let me fit another mon, in which case this ended up being Magnezone, which I'm really glad I have. So with the interest of combining what Houndoom and Gallade were offering me at the time, I made Toxicroak happen. We're doing Poison Touch, we're doing Max Attack, Max Speed. I could have gone bulky or something, but I'm Sash. Doesn't really matter. The thing that I can really only reasonably speed contest is Mr. Mime, which is naturally 5 points faster. So my logic is I want to be doing as much damage as possible, so I went Adamant. Okay. If Mr. Mime wants to outspeed Toxicroak, it will. I can't stop it. I'm running Focus Sash, so I just might as well go max speed. And since I'm adamant, I'm doing as much damage as possible to it. I can prevent a Trick Room or something from going up. So I just decided adamant, max speed, max attack, Focus Sash seems fine. Poison Touch is cool. It means that with Poison Jab, we should be getting a poison about 50% of the time. And with Brick Break and Feint and Fake Out, should get it every now and then. I thought Fake Out was really important into this team. I know it does nothing into Umbreon or Raikou, but I think it's just useful to have something that can stop Cosmos from doing shenanigans because he is such an incredible positional player. Having Fake Out as a tool to be able to prevent him from doing things that he wants to do, I think is going to be really important. We're doing Scarf Latios, bulky max special attack Scarf Latios. So I figured that with Latios and Latios, it's a speed tie, and I just didn't want to gamble. I just didn't want to gamble it. So I'm just doing max HP with Scarf. I'll outspeed everything on his team with this, unless they're Scarf, which I guess if I'm up against Scarf Latios with any amount of speed investment, then that's a problem. But if I'm not up against Scarf Latios, then I will outspeed it every time. It also lets me go Modest, which lets me do a lot of extra damage. Doing Draco Meteor for big damage. Psychic is just Psychic. Ice Beam helps me with Sceptile, helps me with Latios if I don't want to get my special attack dropped. I think that there's a world where he brings Hobbenberry, the Dragon Resist Berry on Latios. So I thought I wanted Ice Beam as an option. And then Memento. So the idea is that I can do some big chunks with Draco Meteor and Scarf or something, just like knock a couple mons down their HP like in half or something. I can swap Latios out for something else. And then in a later situation, if it hits the field again, it's like, oh, its damage isn't that good. I can Memento, right? For those of you who don't know, Memento reduces the opposing Pokemon's attack and special attack by 2 stages. So if we're in a post-game situation where he can't switch anymore and I get a fast Memento off, that mon is kind of ruined. Unless it's like Regigigas, because its attack is so crazy. But for the most part, I think it's going to be a cool tech, and I'm excited to use this. I think it has a pretty good matchup. So about the Sceptile plus Gigas combination, the side Worry Seed. So I'm thinking if Cosmos is doing side Worry Seed strat, it's going to be Sash Sceptile, without a doubt. So my idea for most situations, whether it's Weezing Gigas or Sceptile Gigas, if he brings Regigigas, I'm going to lead Toxicroak Latios, basically. And I'll use Feint on whatever the support is. If it's Weezing, I'm going to Feint it, because Weezing always wants to protect turn 1. If it's Sceptile, I'm going to Feint it just in case it goes for Detect, because it might for some reason. But, namely, I want to break its Focus Sash, right? So if it ends up being Weezing Gigas round 1, I will do Feint plus Psychic, and that should pick up the KO because we're Modest. If it's Sceptile Gigas, I'll do Feint Ice Beam, and that should pick up the KO unless Sceptile is really bulky, which it might be. But then it would have to sacrifice some speed. I don't know if that's worth it. So we'll see. And of course there's berries there, but I'm hoping and praying that Cosmos will be discouraged from bringing berries in general because of Unnerve Houndoom, which I almost brought. It was in my first draft of this team. So Toxicroak Latios will probably be my lead most of the time. We're bringing Baconberry Togekiss. I think this thing is a really good matchup. The only mon that it doesn't hit for neutral with Dazzling Gleam is Steelix, and I just don't think Steelix is coming. I think the rest of my team can deal with Steelix pretty okay. So I brought Waconberry just to help with Raikou and Magmortar, and we have Follow Me to protect us for support stuff, and then we have Psych Up. Let's talk about Psych Up by looking at Blastoise. This is the week where we're bringing Shell Smash Water Spout. I'm not sure Cosmos is going to expect it, honestly. I don't think he'll see it coming, and if we look back at his team again, I think like Spread Water does great. It's really good. After 1 Shell Smash, he'll outspeed everything on this team, even with no speed investment. And Water Spout with Mystic Water does huge damage to all of these mons except for Latios, I think. And Sceptile, but like we have Ice Beam for Sceptile, and it's like pretty squishy, so we might just end up KOing it anyways. And with the support from Togekiss with the Follow Me, we might just be able to win a game or two just by clicking Shell Smash once and then spamming Water Spout. I don't know. I think this is a pretty good strat. Raikou can learn Discharge. That's the only thing that threatens this, is Discharge. And if he goes into Discharge, we have 2 resists here that should help us perfectly fine. So I'm excited. This should be interesting. And then we have Psychic on Togekiss because there's a world where we Shell Smash, right? And the Cosmos is like, oh no, I have to pivot. I have to do something defensive to survive these Water Spouts. And these 2 would probably be on the field together because Togekiss enables the Shell Smash by using Follow Me. And so if I am forcing Cosmos to make pivots, I can psych up the Shell Smash and just go with super hard hitting Dazzling Gleams with that super luck, maybe get some crits. It could be fun. It could be a good time. I forgot what my investment here is for. I think it's to get a 2-hit KO on Umbreon if I crit one of them or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but there's a reason for the special attack investment on Togekiss. But that's Blastoise. I'm excited. It should be pretty silly. We're bringing Swellow. We're doing Choice Band and Guts. It's funky. So couldn't permit myself Supreme Flame Orb because of wheezing, right? I can't make that happen. But there's no point in Scrappy because he has no ghost types and he has no Intimidate. So I'm thinking maybe if I need someone to swap in to take a Will-O-Wisp from wheezing or something, then I could be Choice Band boosted and Guts boosted, which would be pretty wild. That's a lot of damage. This thing outspeeds his whole team. And yeah, this is the benchmark to just outspeed Sceptile. It threatens everything pretty well. Giga Impact does chunks. I'm not sure if it one-shots the bulkier mons, but it should do a lot. This thing's just here to punch holes and stuff. Facade and Giga Impact, you know, different options for different situations. If I do get burned and I can do Choice Band Guts Facade, it's gonna be a lot of damage. And then U-turn just for pivoting Brave Bird as a primary damage move. Last but not least is Magnezone. So Magnezone, I was trying to fit on the team when I had Houndoom and Gallade. I was like, oh, I really want like this steel type defensive pivot, but I couldn't make it work. So then that's when I combined the roles of Houndoom and Gallade into Toxicroak. Now we have Magnezone. Magnezone is here not necessarily for offense because its stat moves aren't crazy into this team, like they're fine. I need it for defense. I think without Magnezone here, this paste is like, it can get run down pretty quickly by like an electric type and like a Latias, right? It just goes down really fast. So I needed Magnezone just to be available as a pivot. I wanted it to just be a nuisance and deal damage as well as it could, and I think that this is a really nice defensive Magnezone. It's max HP, has a lot of special attack, and we're analytic. We have no speed investment, so unless Trick Room gets set, we should be going second and be getting a lot of damage off. Flash Cannon with this amount of special attack and analytic boost will KO Latias, which is pretty great. Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, just the standard moves. We have leftovers in sub. So if I want to, like, you know, if I get in against Umbreon, for example, if I get a sub up, it can't really do that much damage to me. I can't get dropped from Snarl. And I'm not sure, I need to double check where our speed is at. It's gonna outspeed me. It probably will outspeed me, but I have analytics, so that's fine. Just like, subs just helps with a lot of different situations, and I'm running leftovers anyways, so I feel like there's a lot of value there. And then Thunderwave, I can just be a nuisance. I want to, as I was saying before, our teams are pretty similar in terms of speed tiers. Thunderwave not only gives me like the hacks aspect where he just might not be able to attack sometimes, which I think, like, from my experience, Cosmos gets very unlucky with hacks, so I kind of want to capitalize on that. And it also just gives me a little bit of speed control because I'm not running Tailwind on Latios and I'm not bringing Trick Room because I don't have the Gallade. So that's the team. Let me know what you think. It should be a really fun match. As I said, Cosmos, I love battling him. Some of my favorite Pokemon battles of all time have been against Cosmos, so I'm sure this week's going to be great. He's definitely going to give me a run for his money, but I'm hoping that stuff like Shell Smash Blastoise will catch him off guard and I can take this week. And if not, I'll see him in playoffs, I'm sure. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please subscribe, all that cool stuff, and the battle should be uploaded tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'll see you then.